this year. Teammates to Rafa Matos. His third lap was 224.717. And he is headed for the checkered flag.
And posting some really pretty stout numbers that I think are going to have you pretty safe in this top 24 as we roll through the afternoon.
Davy's best finish here was in 1998. He finished 4th, and his best start was 8th. Here's the checkered flag. 4th lap, 224.881. And that was his second fastest lap of the run. 224.852 is a 4-lap average, and Davy Hamilton is P6. Down to Jackaroo.
Guys, down here in the IZOD performance pit, one of the things that you're going to hear drivers talk about is they've taken the wing out. Now, normally these cars generated 0 degree of wing, 1,950 pounds of downforce. That ain't going to get it done when you're trying to qualify. So what you do is you go to what they call negative wing. Take a look at Paul Tracy's wing angle here. You see this is the leading edge? Well, this is the main plate for that rear wing. If you're normally, you're probably at 0 degree like this, right? Well, they go down to 3 degree, to 4 degree. 5 degrees of wing we're talking about. Takes all the downforce out of the car at 50 pounds a degree. Some mechanics say you keep taking it out, guys, until you see the whites of their driver's eyes.
That 50 pounds, Jack, of course, is drag. That's what you're trying to take off of the car. You're reducing, as you said, you're reducing lots and lots of downforce, but what you're trying to, downforce is good, but drag is bad. So you're trying to get rid of the drag and keep some downforce, and unfortunately, if you want to get rid of the drag, sometimes you'll take big risks.
You're right, and you said you got to see the whites of the driver's eyes, so they just say if you're taking off a degree, taking off a degree. Look at that on the top of Jay Howard's helmet. How about, please, 225.
Driving for Sarah Fisher Racing this year. Jay Howard on the track. This is another rookie here at the Speedway. Green flag comes out for Howard.
But talking about those whites of the eyes, it doesn't take much. As you keep tilting that back, say, okay, we're just going to take another degree off the back of this. As you said, it takes 50 pounds of downforce out. It's hopefully going to make you faster, but you're going to hold on a lot more as a driver and work a little bit harder in that cockpit.
Jay's best lap of the month, 225.207. Now, we do have 10 qualifiers at this point, so I guess you could use the term bump because we're looking for drivers who bump their way into the top 9 at this point. First lap for Jay Howard is complete, and the speed is 224.420.
So, Bob, why wouldn't we right now ask Jan, since he's got a calculator in his brain, and we've seen 9 cars out on the track. This is our 10th car. Yeah. What's it going to take, Jan, to be in that top 9 today?
Top 9?
Yes,
my
top
number.
9. I'm not going to put you on the spot.
I don't know if you're going to say 24 or 9.
No, just top 9.
I'm going to go with 225 and a half.
225 and a half.
To make top 9. And I'm going to say 223 and a half to make the top 24.
Okay. I'm 224.9 for the top 9.
Okay, and what about 24?
24, 223.3.
Okay, so you're 2 below me and 4 tenths ahead. So good. We wouldn't want to have too much agreement. That takes all the fun.
Sure.
Yeah, Sarah Fisher looking on, car owner for Jay Howard. And I know Sarah, they've been having the speed with Jay's car, but they've been struggling with Sarah to find that speed. I mean, scratching their heads. But he's been throwing down some speed.
223.994 on lap number 2. White flag will indicate one more lap for Jay Howard, who resides in West Palm Beach, Florida. Third lap is 223.696.
So that call out we saw on his helmet for that 225, please. Yeah. Need some more pleases there.
He actually had a 225 going in turn 1 and 2, and then it started to scrub.
Oh, yeah.
His warm-up lap and his first 2 corners were actually, of course, it's a projection. He didn't finish it off, but it has potential.
Yeah, and when you say it's starting to scrub, that means the car's just sliding up the racetrack, whether it's the front or the rear, but any time it's not tracking and scrubbing, it's killing that speed.
Fourth lap for Jay Howard as the run is complete is 223.749. He is in the top 9 with a 4-lap average of 223.964. Stay with us for more action on pole day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the 2010 Indy 500. Lindy Thaxton, Robbie Floyd, Robbie Buell, Jan Beekes, and me, Bob Jenkins, back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And we now move to the Dryer and Ryan Bowl. Robbie Buell, chew your fingernails portion of qualifying, because the next two cars are from that stable. This is Thomas Scheckter.
And why we just get a little more animated up here is we're seeing the under tray of his car in those first couple laps was really dragging. As he's built some tire pressure and some temperature, it's not dragging as much. But the reason I say, oh, as I see that, is this morning he could, you know, he did about a 223.8 in the warm-up and just couldn't get any more. They went back and they said, you know what, we're going to put a different under tray on this car. So they put a different under tray on it. They never tested it. You roll it back out for qualifying when you got to throw down some laps. Yeah, and there he just dumped the throttle.
He knows it's not right. And I know why you were going. It's because if the under tray starts dragging and something goes amiss, next stop can be the safer barrier, and it's better off coming in and say, you know, boys, this thing is dragging. We need to make an adjustment.
Yeah. His lap was 222.275, so it is a wave off, but at charged attempt for Thomas Scheckter.
Yeah. So, well, nothing. You remember we said yesterday, you know, wouldn't want to. We didn't have any fire drills going on or any panics, but now it's beginning.
All right, earlier today in practice, Takuma Sato in the Lotus sponsored car backed it into the wall, the end of the safer barrier, thankfully.
And that is what can happen if something does go wrong, which is why Thomas Scheckter came into the pits. Big hit. That's gearbox oil that caught fire there, but he climbed out on his own, Robbie Floyd.
He climbed out, went to the medical center, would later go to Methodist Medical Center, where he would get both a CT scan as well as an MRI. He was complaining of a little bit of a pain up in his shoulder. So it looks like everything has been all right. He's going to make his way back here to Indy, but he has not been cleared to hit the track. So they're working feverishly on the number 5 Lotus car, and hopefully we can see Takuma Sato back here today and try and qualify. Lindy Thaxton?
Davey Hamilton, you get out of your car P6, but you say that's decent. You were hoping for a little more.
Yeah, we were. You know, I was hoping to get in the 225 range, but you know, we've been good all month, and I should say week, and we're P6 right now. I was hoping to, you know, hit that 225. I thought we'd have a chance for the top 9, but you know, we were a little bit sliding around out there, but it's the way it goes. You know, we had some problems this morning, and the crew did a great job just to give me some laps this morning, much less try to trim it out. So we'll take what we got.
And Jack, that was actually what should have taken a 2-hour fix, and his guys did it in 30 minutes.
Well, that's what's being and competing at Indy is supposed to be all about. Guys up in the booth, hold back your fellow cohort there as one of his cars, driven by Mike Conway, starts to go through his warm-up laps. Mike Conway having more than his share of problems mentally with this racetrack this season. So as Dryer and Reinbold took a look at things, they hired Ari Leyendyk as a driver coach. As he comes down to take the green flag, the one thing that Ari has been drilling into Conway for the last 3 days is how to lean on the tires right there in the corners. Lean on them, but not abuse them. Based upon speeds this morning, it seems as if he's learned the lesson.
At a 225.8 in practice this morning. Mike Conway from Bromley, Kent, England.
And that art of leaning on the tires that Ari's been passing along to Mike. You know, you start on cold tires, sticker tires, and when you come to take the green flag at the Speedway, you got to run it into turn 1 as hard as you can. And you don't quite know if you're totally up to pressure and up to temperature, and that's just the leap of faith.
Not a bad lap, Robbie, 224.684.
And the key and the challenge, as we've already hit on, is maintaining that as best you can now through the run and using what you got in the cockpit to do it.
Now, as an owner, you wouldn't have really had the expectation of Conway going for the top hole shootout 9.
No.
But you've got to be very comfortable if the managed expectations. This should be well safe, again, if he keeps it going for top 24.
And I think that's fair. I mean, remember a year ago, too, with Mike Conway, we said we got Ari Leyendyk here helping keeping his head in the game, learning. Last year, he struggled in practice and qualifying. He had a great race, but what he remembers from a year ago is this was a tough place. And he's one guy that can confirm that, you know what, when you crash, these walls hurt. And once you've had that experience, you maybe have a little different approach